Hi, this is Nick from Volume 1, and the brand new Volume 1 podcast was made possible by Royal Credit Union, Chippewa Valley Eye Clinic, and DeborahBecker.com, offering State Farm Insurance.
It's a beautiful day in the Chippewa Valley, folks. My name is Eric Christensen, and welcome to the Volume 1 podcast, Episode 2, baby. The podcast, so nice we did it twice. Who knows, if this one goes well, we might even consider doing a third one. I mean, we have all the gear. There's no turning back.
Well, we're going to do a third one. I just don't know if you're going to be invited.
Yeah, maybe maybe this is it for me. Maybe we're going to have to swap some roles. But very excited for this one. I want to introduce the producer of the pod, the founder of Volume 1, Nick Meyer, who had a stress dream about the pod last night.
Oh, you're going to use that against me now. Right.
Yeah.
Yes, I did. I had a nightmare about the producing of this podcast today. There were monkeys involved even. It was the total prototypical, chaos nightmare.
Well, you're going to hate the surprise we have for you later in the show.
Oh, that's exciting.
But as always, he has full confidence that this is going to go amazing and go very well. Thank you, Nick. We're here, we're distanced, we're sanitized, everyone off camera is masked up. We're feeling good. So let's do this thing. We have an incredible show lined up for you folks. I don't even know how to say this exactly, but it's nothing short of momentous. We got Judy. Later on in the program, we have the legendary broadcaster and local news anchor at WEAU Channel 13 News. The Judy Clark is going to be here. It's going to be so fun. I'm incredibly nervous, but very excited for that. We're going to play some goofy games with Judy later on, and our panelists will join us for that as well. It's going to be very silly and very fun. And speaking of our panelists, they're both here right now. Wow, look at that. Kicking off the show. Two of the most kind-hearted and hilarious people I know. Let's start on my left. First, she is a very talented improviser with a bunch of different local improv groups. She's a teacher and an improv coach at Eau Claire Memorial High School. And she's the founder of the Eau Claire Improv Festival. And her shoulders are very tired from putting the whole city's improv scene on her back.
That's true.
Please welcome Amber Dernbach.
Yay.
Hi.
Thank you for being here, Amber.
Thank you for asking me.
And second, he's a stand-up comedian and a co-founder of Clearwater Comedy. He books shows at venues like the Plus and the Metro, and he once chugged a shaker of salt on stage as a bit and had to go to the ER.
I almost died.
Please welcome my dear friend Cullen Ryan, everybody.
Eric, I left the house.
Congrats.
I left the house.
We didn't think it was going to happen, but you left the house.
We did it.
Thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
I'm feeling good. You feeling good?
Yeah,
I feel great.
Excellent.
All right, let's get into it. So we had a weird thing happen at Volume 1 the other day. It's spooky season in the Valley. We had a guy, it was like 10 in the morning, and I guess a guy showed up at the local store, and he was dressed head to toe as Michael Myers from the Halloween movies.
Yeah.
He didn't say anything. He just dropped off a laminated press release and then walked out the building. And it was all to promote this thing going on at Govin's Farm in Menominee. It's called the Twisted Tales of Horror. Ooh. We don't have a thunderclap sound effect, but that's where that would go.
Sorry,
And a little light flicker. The Twisted Tales of Horror. Basically, it's a haunted trail with creepy clowns and whatnot. They booked Aaron Houdini.
Aaron Houdini.
Aaron, yeah.
Okay, so
yeah, he's the great-great-grandnephew of Harry Houdini, Wisconsin native. To do magic and some daring escapes out at the farm, which is cool. He does not look like a Houdini.
Okay.
He looks like a normal guy you'd see at the bar. But it's kind of cool. It's kind of a cool element of the whole haunted trail thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Number one, Govin's is the best.
Yeah, they're
right?
great.
I go there every year. They have, as well as a haunted trail, they have mini ponies. That's a reason to go, right?
Of course.
But number two, okay, Aaron Houdini.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, what about the alliterate? I can speak.
Yeah.
I promise. The alliterative quality of Harry Houdini. You could go on with Gary Houdini, Larry Houdini, Barry Houdini.
Maybe it's
all of it.
Maybe it's
probably-
Heron.
They probably exhausted all those in the first
You
few
think so?
generations. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
This is
We're
like
too
the
many-
great
nephew, so they got rid of all that.
We're scraping the bottle of the barrel
Next
on
up
the Houdini
is
names.
Bruce Houdini, right? I'm Bruce Houdini.
The funny thing about the Houdini guy, he put out a challenge to the Dunn County Sheriff's.
I saw that. Yeah.
I would like to know if they've responded.
Yeah, I would too. I don't think they have yet. You know, maybe he's got to take it to the next level. And he's challenging the sheriff's department to put him in custody, and then he'll break out. You know, I think he might have to start doing some actual crimes.
Right. I think so. You know, I read a little about him.
Yeah.
And I learned that he actually had, in the beginning of his career, somebody prescribe him a straitjacket so that he could rehearse effectively.
What?
How do you get
and then
prescribed?
once he has a friend, he has a friend who has a little RX pad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Under the table.
And then the follow up is that then he's now moved on to a military grade straitjacket.
Wow, this guy.
I'm going.
He's good.
I'm going.
I bought street straight jackets. They aren't as good. Yeah.
What I really want to know though is, will the ponies or the little lambs have anything to do with the Escape Act?
You know, I was thinking, the haunted trail, they'll have a lot of fake blood everywhere. You know, maybe there's some real blood in there. Not to get too gory. Right at the beginning of the show,
he just puts on the straitjacket, and then he just all of a sudden has his arms next to the goat pen. Because goats eat everything. We know that.
Yeah. The goats are his assistants.
Just chew right through. Yeah.
He's like, let me welcome my lovely assistant, a goat.
You don't need to pay the goat.
Right. It is crazy. I mean, hopefully the sheriff's department takes him up on that. I mean, it's kind of a weird climate to be taunting police right now, but I get it.
It's for the magic.
Yeah, it's all whimsical.
Right.
It's magic and it's whimsy.
Yeah.
Somebody call Nicolas Cage. We've got our own little national treasure going on here in the Valley.
Yeah.
Exciting stuff. A local person put together the Chippewa Valley treasure hunt this summer. I don't know if you guys paid attention to that. Yep. Pretty cool. I had a lot of people interested in it because there's a $1,000 prize. You can win $1,000. All you have to do is follow these cryptic clues in a poem and find a rock somewhere in the valley, just a special rock. I don't know. It's a little more boring than National Treasure, but you do get $1,000. People are really into it, and he's actually kind of a good poet too. I don't know if you've read the clues. Yeah. It's very, very well done, but very, very hard. So Amber, let's start with you. Say you found this rock. Where are you going with your $1,000?
You know, I would use that $1,000 to contribute to the charity that I would be playing for today, later on in the quiz show.
All right, we're gonna have to. Well, you could plug them now. We could stay tuned.
You know, you said it was boring, but I have to. We got involved with the summer one. My family and I. We got so convinced that we knew where this thing was. The energy across my children in a pandemic year with nothing else to really look forward to or feel good about. It was just this palpable. We knew where we were going. It was a clue led to the clue, and you knew it. And then it's not there. It's
such a great way to get outside when you're stuck inside.
And a way to teach your children about just incredible disappointment.
Yep. You know what's really cool about him too is I read in the article that you had this summer about this guy that he started the prize money with prize money he had won.
Yeah, from a
championship. And I think that says so much about him as a person, and
That's
also how a lot happens in Eau Claire. Yeah, right?
Right. Hopefully it's always a thing that's just going. So at any moment, if you need like a quick stack, you can just go find the rock and buy a Nintendo Switch or something, Look,
we already know who's going to win this contest, right? We already know.
Okay. Who do you got?
It's everyone because of the memories we make along the way.
It's so true.
Yeah.
I think what if this is the stimulus package that Congress is trying to pass? Like, find a rock that's really hard to find with all these really hard clues, and then you get your free money.
Read a poem, maybe you get some money.
Just jump in a bomber and just sprinkle them across the country.
Yeah.
Rocks.
Every county.
Well, he does have a lot of nature clues, so hopefully that means that some of that money is also going to the Parks Department and Forestry.
Yeah, it's on public land somewhere. The rock is on public land, so you gotta really dive in. I don't know. The clues are too hard for me. I feel like sometimes I get an idea of where it is, and then sometimes it dissipates. I
feel like boxcar is a pretty significant clue.
Yes, the new one has boxcar.
Okay, as a person who hasn't even looked at these yet, I'm gonna find it. You're all out of luck.
You're just going to stumble
about
across
No,
it.
I'm going right at it. Here I go.
Right.
I found it. I'm going to find it like 15 minutes after this is over.
It's in the Target
It's-
parking
it's in
lot.
my
You
pocket.
just trip over.
It's in my pocket. Yeah.
You're just going to find it. That's nice. Yeah. I mean, hopefully there's more and more of these. He's getting sponsors now. So
I think it's a great thing.
yeah, it's just fun.
Yeah.
I mean, the winter, imagine how hard the winter one
Oh,
is.
yeah. I'm not. It better be next to my snowblower.
You're actually going to chop it up and ruin your snowblower. And then, oh, hey,
New snowblower.
what are you going to use your $1,000 on?
New snowblower.
Brand new snowblower. The Blugold Marching Band, which, as you might know, is the largest marching band in the state at 415 members. They're still, you can hear them all the time in the afternoons. I mean, all over town, you've always been able to hear them. And they're still going, despite the pandemic, despite no football games, despite no in-person performances. They're still out there marching around. And it's kind of puzzling at once, you know. I mean, on campus, the cases are starting to rise, or they were at the beginning of the semester. But they're practicing in 5 smaller subgroups, and they're all wearing masks, but their masks have a little hole in them so that they can play their instruments, which is a little puzzling to me. But the cute thing is that their horns also have masks on. Like at the end of a trumpet, you get a little mask on. It's just cute. But masks or no mask, it feels like the spit's still flying.
Sure.
You know?
Sure.
There's still spit going different places. So I'm not sure. I don't know. Amber, what do you think? What is it worth it? I mean, it's the arts. It's good. It's important. But at what cost?
Well, I would trust that the students who are part of the marching band probably love it so much and are so committed to it that they want to see it continue.
True.
And if they're abiding by social distance guidelines within the guidelines of the band, and they're facing straight out, because I know that's a huge piece with marching band. Like as part of just my own job, I had to read the Colorado study. University of Colorado at Boulder put out the study with actors and musicians,
all performers,
right? To see how I can run classes this year, and that was a huge part of the band. Is you need to face forward, especially if you have a trumpet or a clarinet or something so.
It is about, discipline. Marching band in general is about discipline. So maybe all 400 kids, they're probably doing good, but seems like just a lot of people,
It does.
Are they breaking it up so there's like 2 drummers, 2 clarinetists and stuff like that?
I don't know exactly the details of how, but basically the 400 people are split into 5 groups, I think. So some of them, like the horn sections, will practice on a Wednesday, and then there's a different horn section that practices on Thursday, but they all kind of do the same routine. So I don't know.
What makes me feel so sad during these COVID times, they're doing what they have to do, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, the band dynamic of the whole big band together, that has been destroyed. And we all know, the drummers are the bad boys, right? Right.
Yep.
The trombonists are the class clown. They get wave that thing around, right? Yeah. Clarinetists are like having a teacher. They're like, hey, we should buckle down and try a little harder. But, they're a little bit of a pain in the neck, but they're probably right. They all have their own personalities, and that's been destroyed by this virus.
Yes. It's so sad. And they don't even get paid.
That's true.
They do get course credit, I think, which is cool.
That's great. Yeah.
But part of me feels like, I think all these students should take this time and learn a trade instead, maybe.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if we had 400 plumbers walking around? We'd have the best pipes in the entire country. The best pipes.
Yeah.
They should just be playing really sad songs too, like a funeral dirge,
gosh.
or like
Send
the
in the
Imperial,
clowns.
like Darth Vader's theme song, just like the saddest. Just where if they're just doing Bruno Mars for the sake of doing Bruno Mars, I don't know.
Yeah.
They could make it into a true piece of art.
Right. Depressing marching band. That's a whole different genre.
They don't have to hype anyone up. Right?
Maybe they need to collaborate with Govans, and they could be around the perimeter of the cornfield during Aaron
fantastic.
Houdini's.
You are describing the nightmare Nick Meyer had last night.
All right, let's move on. Kind of a heavy subject, like most things these days, but one I think we're going to have to talk about sooner or later, so we might as well do it right now. Restaurants here in the Valley, all over Wisconsin, really in these northern states, are going to be in for a tough winter without, without the option of having patios or outdoor dining or anything like that, it's going to be tricky for them to survive. I read a stat from the Wisconsin Restaurant Association that said, if there's no relief from Congress or something, a third of restaurants could close completely. Cullen, I know, this is a very firsthand thing for you working at the Plus.
Right. Yeah.
So I was thinking maybe we could think of some creative ways to help,
I have been trying for a long time, and so any creative ideas you have sound great to me.
How about single occupancy igloos? What's the Plus's igloo budget like?
Oh, that's 40 mil.
Well, you can get at least 2 igloos for that.
That was super fun at the Lismore last winter.
Could you imagine
right?
going in one of those now?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
They were already sketchy enough. It was amazing. Then you're in there and it's kind of dripping with the mouth droppings of everyone pre-pandemic.
Some nice drops.
Yeah.
They can't possibly
sliding by
Heater
you.
blowing all the aerosols around.
Yeah, igloos sound like a terrible idea.
I don't know.
Okay, maybe not igloos.
All right, how about you serve one family at a time and charge 10 times the price?
And now I like that. Yeah.
Altruistic dining.
Yeah,
Philanthropic dining.
Yeah. Have you guys been ordering from local restaurants as much as you can? I certainly have been. I mean, I think if we continue doing those for the ones that are open, that'll do something. I mean, once a week, order from a local restaurant. Right?
Yeah, and some places had some things set up where, or I think I know Dive did that where they'd send you all the ingredients for a cocktail and then you could make it at home. Right. I think more restaurants could do that. You
Definitely.
could maybe breed some new chefs. Really invest in the future of the scene.
If you ever go on Airbnb and at the bottom it'll say Airbnb experience. So a lot of those are actually cooking demos or cooking classes. So that's something that I think that. Like if somebody or maybe a group of restaurateurs could apply for some CARES Act money to somehow maybe create demos that could be even a partnership with video professionals, you could think of some really cool niche restaurants in Eau Claire that, for example, all of our amazing Hmong restaurants that probably aren't available in a lot of other communities.
Good point.
Right?
Yeah.
I'd love to see Roll Plus get in the video game.
Totally.
And for the holidays here too, gift cards, buy gift cards to your favorite restaurant, give to somebody else. That's the big push for the holidays.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, maybe you could set up a drive-through window on a snowmobile trail, perhaps.
Oh,
you want to stick with serious ideas? I see. I see.
I'm a creative guy. I'm trying to help all of the restaurants out there with my blindingly good ideas.
Just as big and awkward and clumsy of ideas as we can throw at them.
Yeah.
I mean, Amber's idea is great. I think doing something like that would work out very well. I support that. You have great ideas all the time, Amber.
The other thing I was thinking about is like the Meals on Wheels program. So if you kind of duplicated that for people who are working at home, maybe it's not related to income eligibility, but maybe it's just related to need, and maybe a business's largest time of day now is lunch.
Mm-hmm. That's fantastic.
Right? You could collaborate with a local organization who needs to find employment for people to help prepare the
and the thing about all this stuff is it's such a heavy lift to make all these things.
Of course.
The ideas are one thing, but it's just like they have to nobody should have to reinvent everything.
No.
And that's what makes it so just emotionally laborious right now.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
Well, we solved it.
Yeah.
They're going to be fine now. That'll do it for the panel segment. Oh my gosh, that was fun. That flew by. Wow. Thank you so much for being here, you guys. Thank you for bringing the heat. Cullen, do you have anything you want to plug?
We're doing no.
There's nothing left to plug.
There is nothing.
Another plug for the Volume 1 podcast. All right. Wow, thank you, Cullen.
You're welcome.
I'm sure No is going to really enjoy that plug. Amber, do you have anything you'd like to plug?
I would really like to plug everybody coming to the local store and all the other local restaurants and businesses around the area that really need everybody's help right now.
Plug in the whole community. I love to see it. Yeah. Thank you so much. Well, you guys are going to leave for now, but you're going to be back later. So leave while we interview Judy Clark. Ever heard of her? But you'll both be back later to play some games, and it's going to be really fun. We're going to play some goofy games with Judy. But stick around, folks. We'll be right back with Judy Clark. Nick, look, you have glasses. I have glasses. Mm-hmm. So many people in the world have glasses. And you got to take care of your eyes. I mean, how are you going to see the beauty of the world? And so where in the Valley are you going to take care of your eyes best but the Chippewa Valley Eye Clinic?
Right. As you might recall, they suffered a fire to their Eau Claire facility last fall, and I happened to drive by shortly after that, and it was a mess. It was really too bad. But they have since relocated to temporary facilities on Oak Ridge Drive, and that's back behind the new Marshfield Hospital. They plan to build at their original Damon Street location in the meantime. And so despite all this, Chippewa Valley Eye Clinic continues to offer amazing eye care to the Chippewa Valley. And Eric, I think you have the list of everything that they do.
I do. Let's see. Routine exams for glasses and contacts, cataract surgery, treatment for glaucoma, macular degeneration, eyelid drooping, LASIK, and
I think they also recently added a couple of new doctors.
Yes, an ophthalmologist, Dr. Spencer Morton, and an optometrist, Dr. Abigail Ritchie. And you can call their office at 715-834-8471 to schedule your appointment.
That is Chippewa Valley Eye Clinic. Seeing the future.
Welcome back to the Volume 1 podcast, folks. See, Nick, it's not going so bad.
Yeah, no
monkeys
wildlife.
yet.
Right, yeah, we're good.
Thanks again to Amber and Cullen for hanging out. They're going to come back in a bit and play some games with us. But first, Nick and I are truly honored to introduce our guest who has deigned to join us here on the V1 podcast. She's a graduate of Chi High and UW Eau Claire. She's been in the local TV news game for 30 years this year, huge anniversary. As an anchor and producer for WEAU 13 News, she's won numerous awards from the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and the Northwest Broadcast News Association for radio and television reporting, not to mention some pretty good placements in our own Best of the Chippewa Valley reader poll. Please welcome the legend, Judy Clark.
Oh, wow.
Hi, Judy. How are you
How do
doing?
I live up to that?
To get a get like this
Yes.
on our second
Oh, boy.
episode, that's a big booking. I'm taking credit for it.
Yeah,
So.
just amazing. You're kind of a big deal. I mean, do you feel like a celebrity sometimes?
No,
No.
I really don't, because I grew up in this area.
Oh, sure.
And I think, most of the people that I tend to see out and about, I'm related to. So yeah, it's just really, I like it when people do come up and say hi. And I think that's, I'd rather have that than them sneaking around behind my back and saying,
Being weird.
Yeah, no, good point. You don't
Taking
have to
pictures from
wear
around
the
the corner.
Wear the sunglasses and pull the
Right,
hat down.
no.
You don't do any of that?
No, I
Okay.
didn't do that. I only once, when I was at the library in Chippewa Falls, somebody came up and said, I was looking up some books for my kids, and they were with me, and he's like, "No makeup, huh?" That was the only time I was a little miffed, but
Yikes, that is rough.
yeah.
Well, I mean, it could be a lot worse. I'm glad people are mostly nice when they see
They
you.
are. They are. Really
Eric
nice.
gets that comment all the time,
Yeah,
too.
I do, too.
No makeup, Eric. Out
Yeah,
and about. He's
People are used to seeing me now with tons. He's caked on right now. But Judy, you've been in the, you're celebrating your 30th anniversary at WEAU. Amazing. Congrats on the big anniversary.
thanks.
You started in 1990, is that correct?
Right. Yeah.
I don't want to freak you out, but that is the year I was born.
Yeah, it usually is. Yeah.
I'm sure you get that a lot.
Yeah. Well, the reporters that we're hiring now, we're talking about 2000s now.
Yes.
So
Insane.
wow.
Do they know though the wisdom and the presence that you bring to the table?
Boy,
Are they aware?
should.
know.
Yeah,
They should
No
know.
kidding. Right.
No, it's,
Do you
it's
sit
fun.
them down and put them in a corner and say, "Look"?
This is what I know.
Yes.
This is what you should know.
Because I mean, we did the math, and in those 30 years, I think you've worked with about 3,426 different on-air talent and producers, and
that sounds about right.
Come and go.
Yeah.
Just
That
come
sounds-
and
and you've been the main constant the whole time. So it's impressive.
Well, and it's kind of weird because I did start, actually 1985 was my first job in Eau Claire. I worked in college as a part-time, camera operator, audio operator at TV 18.
Okay.
And then got an internship in news at Wax and Way Radio for a few years. Then I got hired full-time there. And then a few years after that, I went into TV at WEAU and just walked across the parking lot, basically. So yeah, it was. It's been a lot. So it's been 35 years that I've actually been in broadcasting.
Is it common? I mean, since we do see so many of the on-air people come and go, do markets hold on to people? I mean, you're from here, you live, you want to be in this community. Obviously, that must be why. So, but how common is it for somebody to stay in an anchor seat, for that long?
Not very common, I don't think. I mean, I know people who are still in the business for 20, 25, 30 years. There are people. It's just that have done it. It's kind of you got to really love it You do, and
you have to love the place that you are covering too.
Totally,
And so many of them are jumping, from market to market. So, and that's, I think people know that about you, and that's kind of why you've become, the Chippewa Valley sweetheart in a way on TV because of that, I think.
Yeah,
so congrats.
Well, it's just right. I've had that question through the years. Why didn't you move on? Didn't you want to, and that kind of thing. And it was like, well, I met my husband at WEAU. He's the operations manager there and has been now for, he's been there 30 years too.
Wow.
And it's like, there's something to be said about loving where you are and being happy. And if you're happy, what's the point?
That's the whole reason we're doing this podcast. Is, we love it here. It's a way to celebrate this
to be happy.
Too.
This podcast does not make me happy.
Oh, it doesn't.
It stresses me out.
Too bad.
Stress me.
Yeah,
well.
things like this I can imagine.
It feels pretty good to do and then get it over with. But yeah, so I mean, Judy, are there any on-air moments that stand out to you over your long career?
Well, I think, in terms of stories, I always think, in terms of what has been had the biggest impact maybe in this area. And obviously there have been some, tragic,
Sure.
stories and things like that. But I think one of the biggest events to happen here was the closing of Unaroyal, because it was in 1991, January, and it really affected so many people and the whole city. And the whole area, not just Eau Claire, but it really did. I mean, we did stories on that, and that was when I was right at the heart of my reporting career. So that's all we did, was for months and months, is stories on the impact.
It's kind of terrible that the biggest news stories that people remember from their careers always are the tragic ones.
They are,
terrible
unfortunately.
accidents and explosions, and there's a lot of weight to reporting that news, all the time. I mean,
Yes.
It's kind of chaotic and it's intense, especially in a year like this. It's just disaster
Just
after
crazy.
Yeah,
disaster.
it never ends.
I mean,
it seems.
how do you? Like there's doctors that have very intense, like they're dealing with life and death all the time, and how do they go home and deal with it? But dealing with the news can be kind of the same way. What do you do in your personal life to kind of get that news thing off of your mind?
Yeah, I try not to watch anymore when I'm home. I mean, and I say try, because it is really hard. Once news is in your blood, it's really hard to get it out. I was on vacation, first one since COVID. This last weekend, we went to northern Minnesota, and I tried really hard not to, look at my phone, but I have all my news
Alerts,
apps and
yeah,
alerts
right.
are going off like crazy, and so that's impossible. But I just try to read something else, instead of newspaper or online. And I knit, which I really like,
Fantastic.
and I garden, which I really like. So yeah,
Those are all
there's-
very meditative practices.
Yes.
I feel like that's very good.
Yes, totally.
Yeah. Eric mentioned before that you constantly appear in our Best of the Chippewa Valley reader poll, which is only intensified over the years with people's,
People love you, Judy.
fervor.
Oh,
yeah.
boy.
But, and so, you've been, let's see what we have here. You've been Best TV News Anchor 8 times in the 12 years that we've been doing this thing, including the last 5 or 6 in a row. You've placed number 2 in favorite local celebrity a handful of times, but really there was a span of years there in 2012, 13, 14 that you were finishing second. The only years, I think, in the whole span to that combination, that husband and wife team of Sarah Stokes and Chris Herzog.
Yeah, that's a 2-for-1.
Right. Well, right. Yeah. And so, but we're wondering, was it you that ran them out of town?
Oh,
Out of the news business? Do you have a beef? Is there a beef there?
No
a
beef.
WEAU beef? No?
No.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Because you regained your top status
Yeah.
after they were gone. And
You have to leave.
you've been undefeated
No,
ever since.
They're great. I would not.
Are there rivalries in the news business? I mean, you could. This is the exclusive here. You can lay it all out. TVs and radio. What's in a small market? Do there get
In a
to be
small
rival-
market, no. I really haven't.
You're
seen it.
disappointing us, Judy,
I
with that
know.
answer.
There's no juice here, I guess.
It doesn't seem like there's a lot of big, like, abrasive personalities in news. Like, everyone seems pretty warm and inviting.
Yeah.
That's not true.
We're all kind of on the same team,
Well, I think that is true in terms of ego. You always hear that of the
Sure.
divas or the ego-driven anchors and whatever, and it's just, I don't know. I've never really seen that in terms of,
Well, good.
Yeah, which is good. And we do have some fantastic people. I mean, a really dedicated, loyal group, and some that have been here for a long time too. Bob Gallagher is,
Sure.
celebrating 25 years. So
Is he already? Okay.
So yeah, I mean, it's we're here to stay, in terms of that love of community and that type of thing.
We could start some beef right now if you want.
Oh, if you want to, go ahead. We'll try.
Do you have a favorite meteorologist? Anybody that you've worked with? You
Okay.
can pick favorites here. Well, if you don't wanna-
Maybe we should say like non-current. So any past.
maybe non-current.
Yeah, it has to be non-current. Well, this one's kind of easy because my brother-in-law is Don Moldenhauer.
Get out of here.
Yes, we introduced.
She does know everybody.
Eric doesn't have a clue who that
I don't
is.
know.
He wasn't around.
Don,
That's an
Don
old
was
name.
1988, something like that, 88 to 93. I think I got it about right. But yeah, we introduced him to my husband's sister.
Okay.
And they've been married now 25 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
As of last weekend. So
The weather bringing people together.
Yeah, exactly. So Don's got to be my favorite because he was the first meteorologist I worked with.
What
in
about
radio.
Chris Earl? He was WEAU,
Oh, yeah.
right? He was sports first,
Sports.
and then he was an anchor.
Yep.
I mean, he kind of tried to play that wacky sports anchor guy
Yeah,
role.
he did.
That
He
that
did it
work?
well.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like in Iowa or something
Yep,
now.
he
yeah.
is.
So yeah, there's all kinds of personalities going
Oh,
back.
yeah. But,
Like
yeah,
I
I
said,
worked with some great.
We did the math. It was 3,426 people that you
What I want to know is how many people I have interviewed over the years.
Oh,
though.
yeah.
That I don't know if I think I can try to figure it out, but it would be
That's a lot.
a lot.
Yeah.
I've got two under my belt now.
Yeah, right.
Second episode. So yeah, I mean, I'm new at this. This is my first time being on camera. Hey, everybody. So can you give me some tips for being on camera? Like, how do you get used? Do you have a routine? Like, how do you psych yourself up?
Well, after 30 years, you don't psych yourself up anymore.
Yeah.
Because it's just like
You psych yourself down.
yeah, you're trying to. So yeah, and now it's really weird with COVID because we don't have anybody in this. I mean, except for the meteorologist. It's just me and the meteorologist. There's really no guest, no camera people. We haven't had camera operators for a long time. So it is a little weird sometimes to just be in that big room all by yourself. But yeah, there's not really anything I do. I just make sure I read everything over as the best I can before I go in there. And
It's all second nature at this point. Yeah.
it really is. Yeah, people ask if I get nervous, and this makes me nervous because I don't know what I'm being interviewed.
Likewise.
Because you know that no one else in the room knows what they're doing.
No, that's not it. No, but when you're asking the questions, it's different, than answering them, and so I do have a lot of empathy for people who come on and have to be interviewed.
Yeah.
Well, Judy, we've been, Volume 1 has been trying to with this crazy year, we've been dipping our toe a little bit more in the news game. And so we thought we're going to play some games in a little bit. So we'd like to warm you up a little bit with a headline guessing game.
Okay.
And these are all recent stories. These are all stories in the latest issue of Volume 1. And we're just going to test, get a little warmed up.
Okay.
So you can do it. So it's fill in the blanks. So I'll give you some blanks, and you have to try to fill it in. We got 5 of them. So this is the first one. Blank blank bridge may be added to local landmark list. Blank blank bridge. That's what they should call it.
Not the Cobbin Bridge. Are you talking about are these?
It is in Eau Claire.
It's in Eau Claire? Okay.
Yeah. 2 blanks.
Yeah, 2 blanks. I'm trying to think of 2 names.
And time.
Okay, I don't know.
Oh, that's okay. Phoenix Park.
Oh,
Phoenix Park Bridge.
oh well. I was
Well,
thinking of
just
Phoenix.
Phoenix.
Okay, got it. Phoenix Park Bridge.
Well, that's okay. Got a little, now we're getting
4 more
Okay, now I
challenges.
gotta get one.
All right. Get a jolt from Eau Claire's new blank charging station.
I can't remember what they call it. Yeah, I don't know.
What is the thing you would charge?
Yeah, the phone, car.
Yes,
charging.
car.
charging.
Correct. Excellent.
Car charging.
All right. Eau Claire County COVID-19 cases pass blank as state numbers surge. It's a number.
Okay. Eau Claire County numbers. I just looked at them today. So they've passed. They're at over 1,000. No.
Over 2,000.
2,000.
2,000.
Oh, okay.
All right. Let's do
I'm not
let's do
doing
one
well
more.
at all.
Let's do one more.
It's a warm up. It's just a warm
Yeah,
up.
we're warming up. Okay, the end of an era, blank restaurant building up for sale.
Dragon Eddies.
Dragon Eddies, correct. Awesome. Thank you, Judy. So hopefully that was a nice warm up. But are you ready to play some real games when we come back?
As long as nothing lands on my head. Or, we'll
No, nothing like that.
Okay.
It's going to be fun. Folks, after the break, we'll bring our panelists back for some goofy games about local stuff with Judy Clark. You don't want to miss it. We'll be right back. Nick, let's talk about one of the sponsors of the Volume 1 podcast, Royal Credit Union.
I would love to, actually, because Royal Credit Union has been a partner of Volume 1 since very early days. They were the first main sponsor of our Sounds Like Summer concert series in Phoenix Park on Thursday nights. They've been a part of this community for decades, and really they were a major leader in the current renaissance you are seeing in downtown Eau Claire.
Yeah, they were one of the first big buildings down there, beautiful building.
They made the
downtown.
investment that made Phoenix Park even possible. They led the way in a major way, and you talk about like responsible corporate citizenship of a community. RCU is like one of Eau Claire's beacon shining lights as far as that goes.
Absolutely.
So they've supported so much stuff in the community, including this podcast now, which is awesome, and so many things that Volume 1 has done, but really so much more than that. And I just can't say enough good things about Royal Credit Union. I've been a lifelong customer. All of Volume 1's business loans and for the local store, our construction, everything has been through RCU, car loans, all that kind of stuff. So it's just a great organization.
They're awesome down there.
They are. So, I mean, you can check them out. If you haven't heard of them, I don't know where you've been living because they employ hundreds of people in this town. But visit them at rcu.org.
Welcome back to the Volume 1 podcast. Our panelists, Amber Dernbach and Cullen Ryan, are back alongside Judy Clark, and we're going to play some games all about local stuff in the Chippewa Valley. How are we feeling, everybody?
Feeling great.
Excellent.
Talking to all three of you at once. It's amazing. So we're going to do 3 rounds of games, and each of our contestants are playing for a local nonprofit of their choice. Whoever makes it to the end, their nonprofit will get a free ad in Volume 1. So, Judy, let's start with you. Who are you playing for today?
Oh, the Boys and Girls Clubs of the Greater Chippewa Valley. Sit with them all the time at their dinners, and the members are just wonderful. So I'd like to give them a plug.
Awesome. Fantastic. Cullen, who are you playing for?
Yeah, October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, so I am playing for the Family Support Center.
Excellent. And Amber.
Feed My People Food Bank.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Now you got your chance to plug them in. That was nice. Okay, fantastic. Let's get started. Round 1 is a group game, so we're going to all play this game together. It's kind of like Price is Right. It's a number guessing game, and I'm going to say something local, and you have to write down what you think the number is, and the closest, without going over, will win the round. And if you win this first round, you go immediately to round 3. You get to skip round 2 and leave the losers to play in your dust. So are we ready to play? Run the numbers. We'll have 10 seconds, and we'll all write down our answers at the same time. And then I'll say the answer, and we'll reveal our answers, and it's going to be super fun. Okay, 10 seconds on the clock, and go. The monthly rent of Eagle, a 2,800 square foot luxury apartment at the Guild in downtown Eau Claire. 2,800 square feet, 2 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms. What is the monthly rent at Eagle? Fancy, nice apartments down there. Very good, very nice. This is the most expensive apartment in that building. Time. The answer is $6,700 a month. Let's see our answers. You can show them to the cameras as well. All right, what do we got, Amber? Amber has 3,200. Judy has 2,100, and Cullen has 1,800. Both of you are wildly low, but Amber, you're the closest, so congrats. That is 1 for Amber.
This was in pounds. I still lose.
In pounds. Oh, gosh, the conversion rate. What is it?
It's not. No, I still lose.
All right, congrats, Amber. All right, let's keep going. So the number of plays that Skinny Love by Bon Iver has on Spotify. Very, very popular song. It's played in every coffee shop in America. How many plays does it have on Spotify? And time. The answer is 380 million.
Oh my goodness.
Cullen has 30 million. Judy, what do you have
I just
there?
have 1.
1 million. And Amber, you have 4.2 million. Cullen, you win that round. Nice job.
Wow.
Nobody's guessed over on any of these so far. That's good.
We know the rules.
All right, so remember, the first person to get 2 of these correct wins. So right now, Cullen has 1 and Amber has 1. All right, let's move on. The population of Elk Mound during the 2011 census. Population of Elk Mound. Nick Meyer's hometown of Elk Mound. Bustling metropolis. And time. The answer is 880.
What?
All right, let's see.
I thought it was more like Bloomers.
16,000, 3,001. Everybody guessed over that time. Elk Mound is a tiny, tiny place, so nobody wins. All right, let's keep going. The cost per day to rent a telescope from Beaver Creek Reserve. The cost per day to rent a telescope from Beaver Creek Reserve. I'm going to look at the stars, see some constellations, and time. The cost per month, or per day, sorry. Cost per day to rent a telescope is $30 a day. $30 a day. We have 75 from Cullen. We have 50 from Judy and 12 from Amber. Amber gets 2, so Amber, you win.
Wins.
Amber, you go immediately to the final round. Amber, congrats. And now we move on to the losers game.
Here we go. Colin.
But Amber, you're not totally out of this one.
Good. I want to
You're
keep
actually, this game is a little bit more creative, okay? This is round 2. It's a whole different ball game. So keep your pads. We're actually going to write down some more creative answers. And then Amber, you're going to judge which is the better of the 2 answers. So you don't have to write anything down this time. There are no right or wrong answers. And the game is called Director's Chair. So you are the director, and we're going to be coming up with the names of some movies here today.
Oh, okay.
So there's 3 rounds. Cullen and Judy, you're going to be writing some movie titles, and Amber, you're going to say which is your favorite, ultimately deciding who will face you in the final round.
All right.
So let's get started. What would be a good movie, or what would be a good title for a horror movie set in Eau Claire? 30 seconds. Pretty spooky stuff. Spooky season.
Spooky.
Who knows what could happen? Ghouls, goblins, the Forest Street Cemetery, full moon on a cloudy night.
Someone delivering you promo dressed in costume.
Press releases coming to you in the middle of the night. And that is time. All right, let's reveal our answers. Cullen, you go first.
I have Saw
Oh, no.
Dust City.
Saw Dust City. Okay. All right. Good one. All right, Judy, let's see yours.
Haymarket Skeleton.
Haymarket Skeleton. Both. I'm getting chills right now.
Aw.
All right, Amber, which one did you like?
He's a comedian. I don't know how I
Yeah, you're getting buried, Judy.
yeah, exactly.
Like a Haymarket skeleton.
I'm going to put my investment dollars in the Saw.
Yes.
Excellent.
I would
Okay.
too.
That is 1 for Cullen. Congrats, Cullen. All right, let's continue. 30 seconds on the clock. What would be a good title for a romantic comedy set in Eau Claire? Who knows? You could have a meet cute at Phoenix Park at the Sounds Like Summer concert series in any other year but this one. Just have a good time. Meet someone special. Go down by the river. Talk to them over some Ramones ice cream. Couple seconds left. 5 seconds. All right, time. Perfect timing with the music. That was great. All right, let's see yours first, Judy.
Lame. Romance by the River.
Romance by the River. Steamy. Sounds steamy. I like it. All right, Cullen, let's see what you got.
Bridge City to My Heart.
Okay. All right, Bridge City to My Heart or Romance by the River. Amber, what do you think?
I'm going to go with Romance by the River. I can see the poster that goes with it.
Yep.
Image at the confluence,
Yes.
a little steam coming up.
It's exactly what I was thinking.
Very romantic. I love it. All right, here's a tiebreaker to see who wins the loser's game and who will face Amber in the final round. Are you ready? All right, 30 seconds on the clock. What would be a good title for an action movie set in Chippewa Falls? Took a little turn there with the Chippewa Falls, you know.
Wild card.
Could have just kept doing Eau Claire ones, I guess, but there's a lot of action in Chippewa Falls. Can't get over it. Beautiful place. Sparkling river. do a motorboat race on the river, shoot a machine gun off the top of Leinenkugel's. I don't know. Just thinking. I'm not in the director's chair. I'm more of a writer-producer. All right, let's see what we got. That's time.
Well,
Cullen is still writing.
book.
Is he disqualified? No, okay. All right, Judy, let's start with you. An action movie set in Chippewa Falls.
The Irvinator.
The Irvinator. Oh. And Cullen has tore his up. Oh no, that is a shame. It seems like Cullen disqualified himself by tearing it up.
I love the Irvinator.
The Irvinator is fantastic.
Yeah.
All right,
That wins. Yeah.
Judy, you win. You win
I
the
win
losers
the losers
game.
bracket.
However, you and Amber are facing off in the final round, and you still have a chance to win that free ad for your nonprofit.
Okay.
Cullen, unfortunately, you lost.
Yeah, I know.
You suck, dude.
Yeah.
Just kidding. But you're just like Amber. You're not totally out of this. For this last round, I'm going to ask Joel. Can we get the koozie? We have a koozie full of prompts. Yes, give it to
Ooh.
Cullen.
Thank you.
This is the winner's game, so it's called "What's in the Koozie?" All right, and this is a question we're all wondering at this point. Cullen has some idea, but not a very good one.
Right.
So it's a fast-paced game. It's kind of like Catchphrase. If you've played Catchphrase before, it's sort of like that, where Cullen will draw from the koozie, and it's full of a bunch of different Chippewa Valley stuff. And the first person to answer correctly gets a point. And so we're gonna play for 2 minutes. There should be enough things in there. And so, Cullen, you have to catchphrase them, and you can't say what it is on there.
Right.
And so, yeah, all right. So I'm gonna be keeping track. Judy versus Amber for all the marbles. Let's put 2 minutes on the clock. I can do it here too. And go, Cullen.
All right. Chinese restaurant no longer exists.
Hong Kong House?
It had a nice awning.
Louis Pagoda?
Yes.
One for Amber.
This is where Jason Aldean might play.
Country Jam.
Yes.
One for Judy.
They put these things on the street on Barstow, and people look at them and go, ooh, ah. And then
Sculptures.
yes.
Nice. That's one for Amber. Or no, that was Judy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, sorry. I'm looking at my...
Eau Claire student newspaper.
Spectator.
Ooh, I'm going to call that a tie.
Fancy store on Barstow where you might see sculptures that are old and you can buy. And
B-frame
Oh,
galleries?
B-frame gallery.
what?
I thought
Incorrect.
B-frame galleries
Keep
as well. Yeah.
It's old stuff. Old stuff.
Oh, the antique.
antique.
Yes.
Amber.
Yes.
2-2.
Save big money.
At
Menards.
Menards.
What's the name of the guy who owns it?
John Menard.
Yeah.
3 for Amber. 1 minute left.
A supermarket chain. The person who did the ads for them for years and years and years, no longer in town. The supermarket chain.
Gordy.
What do they call that person?
The Guru.
Yes.
1 for Judy. 3-3.
Cool place that has it's like a it's oh jeez. It's outside of Menominee. It's shaped like you could drink out of it at a party, and there's
Devil's
like
Punch Bowl.
yes, thank you.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Good job, Judy.
All right.
4 for
This is the
Judy.
place where they sell honey vice and things like that.
Liney's Lodge.
Yes.
Liney Lodge. That was for Amber. 4-4.
And this is a town where I had a comedy show at the beginning of the pandemic. No,
Applause.
it's not a town. It's
10 seconds.
It's a town that I don't know anything about.
Holcomb.
No.
All right, that's time. Let's throw that one
I'm
out.
so sorry.
The score is Judy has 4 and Amber has 4, so we need to do one
got
final
one more.
tiebreaker. Here we go. Pressure's on.
Can I ask a question?
You sure?
Can I be negative about a place?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. The bar you're most likely to catch COVID at.
The pickle.
Yes.
Oh, Amber wins the whole thing. Congrats to Amber Dernbach. Judy, that was amazing too. You guys really
It
brought the
very
heat
close.
there.
Very close.
Wow. So the winner is Amber. Very cool.
Yeah.
Feed My People Food Bank gets a free ad in Volume 1.
Yay.
Yes.
And Amber, we're going to play a little bonus game, just you and me.
Okay.
Ooh.
And you guys can hang out and spectate.
Yeah. Just be
Thank you
angry.
so much for playing, though. That was very fun. We're going to
was.
play a bonus game. And if you win the bonus game, you get a $25 gift card to the local store. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
So this game is called Ramones or Olson's. Okay. And so I'm going to say the name of a ice cream flavor, and you're going to tell me which place it comes from. And you have a 50% chance of getting it right, but it is deceptively hard. So
I'm sure it is.
If you can get 6 right in 1 minute, we'll give you that free local store gift card.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
To play Ramones or Olson's, the ice cream game. And go. Cotton candy confetti.
Olson's.
Correct. Chocolate monster.
Olson's.
Correct. Zanzibar chocolate.
Olson's.
Incorrect. Heath Supreme.
Ramones.
Incorrect. It's Olson's. Pumpkin bar shake.
Olson's.
Incorrect. Snap O-lantern.
Ramones.
Correct. Mocha mud pie.
Olson's.
Correct. Fat Elvis.
Ramones.
Correct. Black licorice.
Olson's.
Correct. That's 6 right. Congrats, Amber. You get a free gift card
Thank
to
you.
the local store as well. Thank you for clapping, you guys. That was very nice. Wow, that was fun. Congrats, Amber, for
Thanks.
totally winning everything. You did amazing. How are you feeling right now?
Like the top of the world, or the Chippewa Valley, I should say.
Top of the valley. All right. Well, that was fun. Congrats, Amber. Truly masterful performance. We got to take a break, but I want to thank you all again so much for being here. This was really fun. Thank you, Judy. Thank you, Cullen. Thank you, Amber. It was a pleasure to have you all on the podcast. I hope you had a good time. So stick around, folks. We'll be right back. All right, Nick, we've got a sponsor to tell folks about, Deborah Becker of State Farm Insurance, at deborahbecker.com.
Yeah, okay, a little insider info here. When we decided to create this podcast, the very first business we wanted to check with for sponsorship was Deborah Becker from State Farm. And that's because she is always up for the new, the experimental, and anything that she thinks is good for the people of Eau Claire and the Chippewa Valley. And she has supported so much stuff from Volume 1 over the years, new publications and community events, videos, really just all kinds of different things.
Absolutely. And, it's not just Volume 1 either. I mean, it's the entire community. I mean, they're pumping money into community projects like the Boyd Park Plus, the Sculpture Tour, concerts, art installations, just so much stuff that the entire community can share.
Yeah, it's cool. And that's the thing, because to some degree, to people like us, we're just lay people. Insurance is insurance. We don't know the difference. So
I don't.
Sometimes you pick your people based on who shares your values in the community, who do you think's making some cool things happen. And for us, that's for that Volume 1 anyway, that's Deborah Becker with State Farm.
And it's pretty cool to work with the people that are sponsoring the podcast.
Totally. Deb and Casey there at State Farm, they have their office right downtown, right on Barstow Street. They have everything insured that Volume 1 does, and in my life for a bunch of years. And really, they're just approachable, available, understandable, and above all, they're just decent human beings.
And that helps.
It does help. So if you need insurance-y things, please consider visiting deborahbecker.com.
Welcome back to the Volume 1 podcast, everybody. Gosh, this is a fun one. Thanks for sticking around, folks. As always, make sure you subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. We're out there. We're on everything. We're on Spotify. We're on YouTube, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, Google, volume1.org, of course. There's so many ways to listen, and we really, really appreciate it. Leave us some ratings. Leave a comment. Share the thing with your friends. It really, really goes a long way. I want to thank Judy Clark once again for being here and being totally game for whatever we threw at her. What a legend. Shout out to our panelists, Amber Dernbach and Cullen Ryan, for joining us. Simply a delight to have them on the show. I want to thank our sponsors once again, deborahbecker.com, selling State Farm Insurance, Royal Credit Union, and the Chippewa Valley Eye Clinic. Thank you so much for your support. We really appreciate it every time. And as always, if you have any feedback about what we're doing here on the podcast, people we should have on, game show ideas, you want to write me and tell me my pit stains are super obvious, I welcome it, okay? Feel free to drop me a line directly at my email, eric@volume1.org. Thanks to Nick, Joel, and Alex on production and tech. Thanks to Mackenzie and Taylor for the graphics. Thanks to Chase for sponsorships and everybody that contributed to this thing. For the Volume 1 podcast, I'm Eric Christensen. We'll see you next month.